lush green fields of the Philippines, rolling through tropical village scenes. New friends made along the way, sharing stories at the break of day.
Ma-access lang switch.
Hello and welcome to Arizona Trails, Philippine Tales. My name is Steve and welcome to week 70. What are we on? Week 74 of the Philippine house build. Now, before we get into that, a few different things. One is the ADV 160. So I haven't driven this thing since March. I took it out yesterday, got it cleaned, but here you can see some of the damage, and I actually am buying 7 new parts for the bike. One, there were some scratches right here on the mirror. The mirror didn't break. I mean, to be quite honest, if I had to live with scratches, I wouldn't have really bought the parts. The only reason why I bought parts was because my wife wanted me to sell the bike. And to be quite honest, I don't want to sell the bike. But I'll go ahead and I'll put the new parts on. And then I'll probably put a crash guard on. And then I want to put a sidecar on. And the kind of sidecars that I really like out here is called the Aklan sidecar. So what I would have to do is put a crash guard on and have it welded to the crash guard. But one of the parts, so mirror I had gotten, another part I got was the turn signal. That's broke. I had to get this right here because of course this is all scratched. I got a new foot piece of plastic for this, and then I got this one, so that's 2 right there. And then another part that I got was this part right here, and I could have lived with the scratch right here, no big deal. And then I did get a new silver part. I didn't get this black part because I didn't think there was any scratches on it, but there are a couple little dicks right there. But I think I'm going to go ahead and not worry about it. I'm just going to go ahead and get that part. So there's 7 parts all together on the ADV that I'm doing. And then, like I said, probably get a sidecar for that. The second issue is there's been a lot of talk about the new laws, the privacy laws here in the Philippines. So there's one person that vlogs. They live in Rojas City. And they were saying, well, as long as you're not a creeper and you don't try to hide your camera, nothing's really changed. They're just old laws. But You know, I almost wanted to take his word for it that, you know, nothing's really changed and you can just film, because it does make sense that if you vlog, it brings tourism into the Philippines. And since it does take, you know, you wouldn't want to blur people's faces, because who wants to watch blurry faces? But then another vlogger who's here in the Philippines, you might know her. She's a Filipina that has a good famous channel here in the Philippines. She was also, she just came out with a video concerning the privacy law, and she was wondering how she was going to be doing any type of vlogging, because she didn't know how to blur faces, or it would take a lot to blur the faces, since it's not, since if you're in a crowd of people, it's a lot of editing to do to try and blur out people's faces. For myself, I can actually blur out faces. I know how to do it. A matter of fact, there's AI that can blur faces automatically now, so it can be done. You just upload your video, the AI will blur all the faces, and then you can select which faces that you want to unblur. So there is now a privacy thing on my video that says that if anybody comes into my cameras, that their faces will be blurred. And then that way that will help with the Philippine law. Even though it's a shame, because here in the Philippines, everybody smiles, and to blur out a smiling face really doesn't showcase what the Philippines is all about, because you don't find smiling faces in America. You don't find smiling faces in Europe. And here in the Philippines, and the reason why a lot of people move here is for those smiling faces and the nice and kindness people of the Philippines. So that's the other thing. And now, of course, no matter where you are in the world, if you are in America or if you are in Europe or wherever, and you want to move to another country, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the Philippines. It could be, you know, any country that treats you and your money correctly, to where it makes your money go a little bit further. Definitely, we're going to go ahead and show tinfoil hat to retirement, just to give you some ideas, or when are you going to pull the trigger on moving. All right, here is tinfoil hat to retirement.
Tinfoil hats on aisle 5. Chemtrails drip while memes revive. Stacking debt like birthday cake. In fiat we inflate the fake. B2 hums, the desert glows. Diplomacy's in stealth mode close. Men in dragon bathroom stalls, while Facebook logs your curtain calls. FTC and CFTC toast a blockchain symphony. Digital assets rule the day till passwords vanish in the gray. Misidentity campaigns roar. Cultural cosplay on the floor. Dollar bills and crypto moons. Marxist flags and Whole Foods spoons. Cops resign with tearful grace. Replaced by drones with poker face. Tax the bill, deport IEO loans. Tax flag red by snows. Law China owns the farms and fences. Buying dreams without defenses. Just in case you didn't know, satire's realer than the show.
All right, that was tinfoil hat to retirement. And just looking out here, so we have gotten our water tanks in right now. So it's going to be a while before they're actually installed. So we're going to put one tank in the bottom, another tank on the top, and then that's going to be our pressure to go into the house. As you can see here, we've got the father dog, the mother dog, and new puppies running around. Of course, that will end when we get our wall put up, and that's basically, this wall's come down to here, and then on the other side, of course, they've started the wall. And so you can see here too, I think, okay, so the tiler was here. We do have tiles going up. Looks like they tiled our flower bed over here, and they've gone halfway up with the tiles. So that could be a possibility of what they're doing. They're going to do the tiles halfway up and then paint. So maybe that's what they did here. They're just going halfway. I sort of wish they would have stuck with the original plan of not tiling this. This would all be paint, and then just tile the middle section, and then there would be a section up here at the top, and it would be tiled in there. That would have been a better aesthetic, but instead, looks like they just tiled halfway, or a little bit higher than halfway. Matter of fact, I'm 5'10", and so that means this is high. I don't know, that's a little bit more than half, probably about maybe 5 foot maybe. So that's done over all that area. And then going in, and I got one puppy down here that wants to play with my feet here as I walk. Nope, he's already tired. All right, so going into the house right here, and then so all the columns are done. And this table, this kitchen table here, like I said, this isn't our kitchen table. We're actually trying to upgrade the table. Same person who made the table. I mean, it's all wood. The chairs are all wood, very heavy chairs. But we're going to see if we can get a, see, this was a 6-seater, but we're trying to get either an 8-seater or a 10-seater. Is everything else still clear over here? Not much else has been done here in the living room. I mean, we want, pretty soon, we want to have everything painted in here. All right, so living room, not much is done. I still like the columns that were done. I think that bathroom is still used for storage. And then in here, I don't think anything has changed as well. I don't think anything's changed in any of these locations. I know they are tiling out here. So yes, they've done some tiling on these steps. See, I like to see week-to-week changes. Hopefully, Flora and I, when those water tanks get installed, hopefully that will be a reason to move in. Started these columns. Okay, so this is new out here in the lanai. Actually, okay, so they tiled the flower beds here in the tile. They're starting to put up the posts. And I found out too, Flora said that it's not going to be an actual canopy that goes over. I mean, it is a canopy, but it's just wood board planks. So it'll be boarded planks going this way to provide some shade, but it's not going to really protect you from the sun. But at least it's something to that effect. And then let's see what we got in here. The lights are on in here. B. They still haven't put the toilet in. And then, let's see here. This door, a lot of dust, a lot of paint. So this room is being painted. These doors are starting to be worked on. So the painter person that we have that did the columns, like I said, he was going to be doing the doors. So here's a door. He sanded it. And I think he sanded that one over there. So I think these are the 2 doors that he's working on. And I'll show you the finished product because he did finish the master bedroom door. So here is the master bedroom door. So see, he sanded and then he lacquered the door. So it's nice and lacquered, shiny. So this door looks really good. And I think this room is pretty much complete, I think. I mean, I would like to say that it is. See, so here's the door, fully lacquered and colored. So let's see what this looks like together now. All right, so this is our bedroom. All the tape has been taken off of the baseboards. That is the wall. And we have one white part above the door, about an inch. I don't know if we're going to paint that brown or not. As a matter of fact, that would probably be my next suggestion, is to paint, oh, well, actually, I see tape. Okay, so tape is up here right now. But I would imagine that the tape, once it's taken off, will still be white underneath. So maybe to have that painted this brown color, that might be something. Let's see what else. Nothing has been done outside. I think this room is completed. I think the final paint's been put in and all the electrical is in, all the plugs are in. Yes, so I see all of that. Everything's still working as far as lights. Yes. Oh, he did the bathroom. Okay, so the bathroom door has been done. Okay, upper light is that, and this is that light. All right. So, walk-in closet you've seen. Here is the finished door of the bathroom. Nice, shiny, lacquered, so it was sanded. He put wood filler in it to get all the pits out, and then the final shiny lacquer. So, looks really good. The toilet and the bar is still not in. But, you know, like I said, they need to put the water tanks in first. Once the water tanks are put in, then we can put the toilets in. We need the shower head to be put in so we can take showers. All right, so all this is done. See, nice shiny door. So all of our doors are like that. So the only two doors that are done is this bathroom door and the master bedroom door. And he's working on the first guest bedroom. I know we need to get a mattress or a bed in here yet. So once we get the bed in, that will be nice. So we can actually move in and sleep. We're going to go back out this way. See where we are in this project. All right, from what you can see out here, they have started the wall, or at least they have made the corner of the wall. So that's going to be as far as that. The bottom floor looks like it is complete now. The bottom concrete is cured, and it's actually connected to the concrete of the septic tank. And if you look above, if you look up there, you can see our water tower. So in our water tower, we are going to put a tank up there and then another tank in the bottom. And then the room will probably hold our, if we ever get it, our water filtration system. So that is coming along. So it looks like everything is cured, and they've got the welding and the metal for the water tower up there. All right, so again, these two doors will be sanded. They haven't put the toilet in, of course. And now all they need to do is do the paint, or the, so the sanding was done with that compressor. And then now that the sanding is done, he'll take out all the pits, put the wood filler in, and then lacquer the door. All right, not too much has been done for this. All right, so that was week number 74 of the Philippine house build. I know not very many changes took place. Thank you again for joining Arizona Trails, the Philippine Tales. You have a great day. Bye-bye.